we should be kind of familiar with what an exponent is. An exponent is there we go. Exponent represents repeated multiplication. That's really big, you guys, because if I gave you the exponent of a to the fifth, that little 5 there means we're taking our base of a and multiplying it by itself, repeating the multiplication 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So exponents are repeated multiplication. We have a couple properties that comes along with that. We have the product of powers and the powers of a power. I honestly don't care if you memorize these or not. I am more focused on, do you know how to use them? Here's what this means. Look at this one right here. A to the nth times a to the nth. There's a multiplication sign there where we don't write it. But notice we have 2 bases. So we're taking 2 different bases, we're multiplying them. When you multiply them, you add the exponents. Whereas a powers of a power property, we're to have 1 base. So see the difference here. 2 bases, 1 base. We have 1 base and we're raising it to another base. So what we do there is we multiply the exponents. And they do take some getting used to. So you really need to focus in with these. Here's our proof. So we said a to the m times a to the nth equals a to the m plus n. Why? Well, look at this right here. What does a to the third mean? Well, it means you take an a 3 times multiplied by itself, which they did here. What does a to the second mean? Well, it means I take 2 a's and multiply them by himself. Now, if you count them, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A to the fifth. Well, there's a quicker and easier way of doing it if you recognize that there's the same base multiplying, you just add their exponents. Little different when it comes to powers of a power. Remember, 1 base. We're raising it to the second power, then the whole thing to the third power. So what we're going to do here is we're going to multiply them. Remember, if we have power raised to another power, we multiply the powers. So 1 base, a is raised to the second, raised to the third. Well, here, this a to the second, this 3 tells me I have 1, 2, 3 a to the seconds. Well, then this a to the second breaks down into 1, 2 a's. This a to the second breaks down into 2 a's, and this a to the second breaks down into 2 a's. So altogether, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But you could have gotten 6 just by multiplying the exponents. So the way I remember it is between 2 bases. Oh, that's not a good example. Oh, right here. Yep, there's 2 bases, a to the third, a to the second. We add the exponents. Whereas we have 1 base, a to the sixth. I'm sorry, we have a power to a power, and that means we're going to multiply them. Because we have a times a to the second times a to the second times a to the second. Break it down even more, and we end up with a to the sixth. So, to multiply like bases, you multiplying like bases, add the exponents. To raise a power to a power, we multiply the exponents. And those are the first 2 rules we're covering. Multiplying and power rules. If you have like bases, and you're multiplying them, you add the exponents. If you have a power to a power, 1 base, then you just end up multiplying the exponents.